Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. The Office of the President has responded to Daily Trust editorial of Sunday, 12th December 2021, titled "Life Has Lost Its Value under Buhari's Nigeria." Let's get the details from Momso Damian Detti.
The NGX All-Share Index and market capitalization for week ended 10th December depreciated by 0.68%.
All right, to apologize for the mix-up there. We'll definitely bring you that report in the course of the bulletin. Financial experts on NT's Good Morning Nigeria have recommended automation of tax administration as crucial to expanding the nation's tax base, while applauding the present administration for entrenching the tradition of finance bill for 3 consecutive years. The experts call for strict implementation. Lydia Sampson reports.
The guests described the Finance Bill 2021 as not just an attempt to widen the tax network, but also critical to win investors in line with global best practices.
Finance Bill is the most important achievement of this administration in the area of public finance management. It's a living tool that you constantly use to shape and reform and fine-tune the fiscal space. So it's very, very critical. And it is expected in our laws, but it's just that it wasn't being implemented.
Government, as much as possible, try to be efficient in terms of assessing and collecting taxation everywhere in the world. So we are actually just coming up with being serious about assessment and collection. If you don't have a finance bill, for instance, you'll be doing things as they were done in 1950.
They note that though the bill is tax-based, it is geared towards eliminating double taxation without increasing the tax burden.
I am also of the opinion that the country is on the right course. We are doing the right thing, coming up from 2019. Globally, this is the practice everywhere. OECD countries, India, all other countries, developed countries are also using this kind of measure.
They are optimistic that when the Finance Bill 2021 becomes an act, Nigeria will move up the ladder of ease of doing business. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wase, has condemned bandits' attack in Pinau village of Mavo Chiefdom, Wase local government area of Plateau State. The attack left 7 persons dead and several others injured. A statement signed by his Chief Press Secretary, Umar Puma, the Deputy Speaker described the killings as painful and regrettable, urging the people of Wase to remain calm, peaceful and law-abiding. Idris Wase extended sympathy to the families of those affected and called for support to federal and state governments to bring such ugly attacks under control. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced trading surplus of 141.96 billion naira recorded in June 2021. A statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs of the NNPC, Garba Din Mohammed, the NNPC monthly financial and operations report says comparing the deficit of 37.46 billion naira in May 2021. The report noted that the increase in trading surplus is due mainly to the increased sales of crude oil and gas by the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, an upstream subsidiary of the NNPC, and increased gas sales and depreciation postings by the Nigerian Gas Company. The positive outlook was further bolstered by the performance of Duke Oil and the Nigerian Gas Marketing Company, which also added to the improved bottom line. To ensure continuous supply and effective distribution of premium motor spirit, that is petrol, across the country, a total of 1.63 billion litres of petrol, translating to 54.50 million litres per day, were supplied in June 2021. In the gas sector, a total of 223.77 billion cubic feet of natural gas was produced in the month of June 2021, translating to an average daily production of 7,459.88 million standard cubic feet per day. Holding public offices such as being a governor cannot last for more than 8 years, but making adequate plans to add value to the state even after leaving office is quite commendable. Now, this was the outlook when the Committee on Cross River State Debt Review and Projects Development submitted its report to Governor Ben Ayade in Calabar. Let's get the details from Paul Abel.
With the responsibility of reviewing Cross River State debt profile from 1999 to 2015, the committee went into work for 6 months, coming out with findings and recommendations contained in these documents on how to move the state forward. Receiving the report, Governor Ben Ayade reiterates that the document is a 30-year development plan to bring value to the state, as it will also serve as source of data for the next administration.
It's not our intention to look backwards, but to learn from the past and develop a future that is stable and strong. It is my sincere hope that this report will form a solid foundation in the agenda setting for the incoming government. It is my sincere hope that this report will form a strong basis for the development of the economic emancipation of Cross River State as a 30-year master plan.
What the state debt portfolio is, and then we also recommended to the state how this debt portfolio can be managed. It's really heavy, and I can tell you, His Excellency has to be given a lot of kudos for managing the state the way he has done, in spite of the huge debt burden that the state is carrying.
Another issue emphasized at the event is for the masses to see government as a progressive one rather than discriminating on who initiates and completes a project. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
An intervention efforts against coronavirus continues, especially with the emergence of the new Omicron variant. The Federal Ministry of Health and Enugu State Government have agreed to strengthen collaborations to fight the pandemic and other health challenges. This was during an oversight tour by the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Olorunimbe Mamora, in the state. Let's get details from Susan Eze.
Beyond tackling the challenges thrown up by the coronavirus pandemic, providing quality health care for the people is a task that requires collaboration between the federal and state government, as well as other stakeholders. Having completed his oversight tour of the Federal Orthopedic Hospital in Enugu and other federal specialist health facilities in the state, the supervising minister appreciated the level of progress made with the federal intervention funds. He attributed the success story to the collaboration between the federal agencies and the state government.
We'll continue to partner with you, the state government, in terms of providing services, Medicare services, health care services to our people.
Appreciating the role of the federal health agencies in the state, Governor Ugwuanyi, represented by the deputy, assured the minister that the state government is not relenting in her response to COVID and other health challenges, noting that currently over 300 vaccination sites has been activated across the state.
Following the lead and support provided by the National Private Health Care Development Agency, the state government is leaving no stone unturned in order to achieve the target of the campaign to get 50% of the eligible population vaccinated by February 2022.
The minister's team, comprised of heads of federal specialist hospitals and health agencies in the state. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Right, let's take you back to the report we called earlier on the Presidency response to Daily Trust editorial of Sunday, 12th December 2021. Momso Damien Deti will guide us on that.
A statement from the Presidency states that growing instability and violence in the north of Nigeria and elsewhere is unacceptable, and that one, not least the Presidency, underestimates the seriousness of the situation, adding that every day the President holds the victims and their families in his thoughts and prayers and wishes to reassure them and all Nigerians that tackling the scourge of banditry and terrorism remains this government's first priority. The statement sadly notes that Nigeria is not unique in this respect, as violence and terror have risen steadily across the entire African continent over the last decade. It quoted The Economist magazine, which recently wrote about the next Afghanistan, warning the global community of the horrifying security in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. The Presidency therefore says it understands the frustrations of the Daily Trust and Nigeria's northern communities about the ongoing challenges of security, and the Buhari administration is no less worried. It, however, says it's only fair to say that Nigerians' persistent and continued efforts to suppress that instability have seen results, with terror group Boko Haram among others reduced to a shell of its former self. The Presidency accepts the Daily Trust's attribution of violence as an amalgam of many complex issues such as poverty and unemployment, and that force alone will not be enough to tackle the violence. It, however, disagrees that the problem of insecurity is intractable and that the claim of apathy on the part of government. Nigeria, that proudly holds the mantle of Africa's largest economy, the Presidency says is not immune from the debilitating economic impact of COVID-19, which ravages the whole globe, and that the economic instability that the pandemic has wreaked has proven an effective recruitment tool for bandits and terrorists across the continent. The Presidency explains that military efforts have not let up, despite threats from Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers, and IPOP, which have stretched thin the forces as the country's dedicated soldiers are working around the clock to keep Nigerians safe. The statement further says government is seeking to address the violence at its economic source, with massive infrastructure projects like the coastal rail and new train from the southern coast through the northeast to neighboring Niger, to expand employment and opportunities across the country, bringing hope to more remote and poorer regions where bandits and terrorists thrive. The Presidency also cited efforts made through lobbying, partnership, investment and support from Western allies to proscribe Boko Haram, bandits and IPOP as terrorist groups, which would severely dent their funding, for investment in trade and infrastructure to help lessen economic instability, and to help with technical assistance, advanced weaponry, intelligence and ordnance. While noting that this will likely be small comfort to the families and loved ones of those already lost, the statement points out that it is a battle that government is fighting with outlets. It therefore says the Daily Trust suggestion that the President seeks exchanges violence for support he got electorally is beneath a publication that claims any kind of political neutrality or integrity. The Presidency insists that now is not the time for this sort of lurid political journalism, rather to focus on how Nigerians must come together and end the violence. Quoting President Muhammadu Buhari's recent write-up of the terrorists in UK paper and Financial Times, we will defeat them, one highway, one rail link, and one job at a time.
All right, let's go on a break. We'll be back. Please stay tuned.
The 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration is here again. The Nigeria Armed Forces work tirelessly day and night to give us peace to go about our businesses. Some have paid the supreme price. Should we forget the families and loved ones they left behind? No.
I am therefore privileged to honor these veterans who devoted most of their lives, active lives, to securing the nation and the world at large.
So, let's support the Nigerian Armed Forces and their families, corporate organizations, government agencies, parastatals, and individuals. Let's show our love and support for our armed forces. They are our heroes. Buy the Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem and donate into the Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem Appeal account. We love you, and your labor and sacrifice will not be in vain for spilling your blood for us to live.
The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria is here to help you succeed. SMEDAN gives you entrepreneurship training that will make your business grow big. It can create access to finance. SMEDAN can help you prepare a good feasibility study and link you up with the finance institutions that will fund your business. It can also create access to market through local and international trade fairs, opportunity fairs, and exhibitions. SMEDAN also organizes programs to identify innovative entrepreneurs and promote their business ideas. Contact us at Plot 35, Port Harcourt Crescent, Area 11, Garaki, Abuja, or visit our website www.smedan.gov.ng.
One country, one peaceful people, united in diversity.
We are great Nigerians.
Let's be peaceful.
We refuse to be manipulated by desperados and instigators.
You cannot succeed without your cooperation.
A peaceful and united Nigeria is possible.
Join us in one voice, one love and unity.
As we march around 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT,
for national peace
and unity campaign through town committees. Babban taron Nigeria domin dawo da soyayya a tsakanin mu 'yan Nigeria.
When the power of love overcomes the love for power.
For our country, Nigeria. Together we stand.
This message is brought to you by the ambassadors of Voice of Change Initiative, supported by Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) and Federal Capital Territory (FCT).
Welcome back. Let's head to Lagos. Adiola is set to bring us another set of reports from that end.
Thank you, Ruth. The menace of trading on the rail track or within the rail corridor is an old foe resurfacing in diverse forms. Several efforts to check the trend have failed, and the bone of contention here is that aside constituting threats to lives, it might reduce the lifespan of the track, which might jeopardize the huge investment on rail infrastructure. Michael Olaleye reports.
This is the popular Tejo Show Market in Lagos, vibrant and business-oriented. But on the lane are traders in hundreds occupying the rail track as makeshift shops. It is not just the tracks accommodating the unwanted neighbors. The entire corridor is defaced with wooden kiosks. Even those who are not traders take delight in eating on the track. Not quite long, a train rattled on the lane, and I watched the drama thereafter. Slowly, the traders shifted their wares and reconverged. Immediately, the train left. Ife Daniel is one of the traders here. He made a case for their predicaments.
The rate of shops out there are too expensive. People cannot afford it.
It is a case of wanting to be consumed by what is obviously dangerous. But to residents like Michael Ayedero, it is baseless, since life cannot be sacrificed on the altar of ignorance.
It's possible the chain could eat you. By carrying those stuffs up and down, it could cause damage to the goods as well. So it's just kind of very risky, and it causes litters everywhere as well.
Someone lost his life last week because at times the train may be coming. If they don't hear the whistle and all that could happen, so they let them ban them.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation has watched helplessly how various attempts to stop rail line trading failed, but this time it is backing up its enforcement with punitive measures, apart from progressing in its efforts at fencing the entire rail corridor.
Trading on the rail is a very grievous offense. In our act, it's treated as felony, and we want people to understand that. So that's why we are going all out to sensitize the people and make them know. Effective January, we will start arresting people that we've seen within the the track and inside the fence.
The solution going forward is the activation of additional round trips within the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor, a prospect already being considered by the Rail Corporation. But there is no doubt that this measure will definitely be tested by erring traders. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
The National Theatre Igamu Lagos is playing host to lovers of culture and entertainment at the second annual Festival of Unity with the theme Enduring Optimism. The festival, which was declared open by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, is part of efforts to promote the nation's rich cultural heritage.
Cultural festivities are major unifying factors among peoples of different backgrounds, language, and customs, and is also used to promote peace and harmony. Festivals of this nature is therefore an avenue to rekindle hope and reawaken the spirit of brotherhood once demonstrated by Nigerians. The National Theatre in Lagos is providing that big stage to showcase the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria. The best of music, dance, drama, comedy, and other entertaining arts took center stage, from world-class performances, mesmerizing dance steps, rip-cracking jokes, and roof-shattering music. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said Nigerians should look beyond the many challenges militating against the nation and continue to embrace peace and love for one another, noting that events of this nature will bring healing to the hearts of many.
A festival that celebrates life, builds bridges of unity, promotes peace and harmony, as well as rekindles the hope of the people.
Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who was represented at the event, said NTA will continue to be at the forefront to promote unity among Nigerians and showcase the true image of the people to the world.
The future is very bright, and so the candle of hope, the flame of it, as Nigerians, we must never allow it to die.
In the culture sector, we are initiating activities and events that would promote unity.
General Manager of the Cultural House said the festival will provide a platform to discover and groom young talent.
We're also going to isolate some of them and give them further honing and training to market them.
The National Theatre has a clear mandate to preserve, promote the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria. In Lagos, Samaka O, NTA News.
And that does it from the zone. Ruth is back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Adiola. It is said that a healthy nation is economically a viable one. It is on that premise that African leaders' attention are drawn to upscale their nation's budgetary allocation of public health to deal with poverty in the continent. Now, this is the submission of African Institute of Public Health professionals at the end of the year review of the sector in the continent with the theme Prioritizing Health Financing in Africa. It is believed that most of the diseases in Africa emanate from primary level, hence the need for more focus on primary healthcare system, because an unhealthy society correlates with its poor state and the people's intellectualism.
The most desired economic development, we still need robust workforce to drive it. A sick society is a poor society. And of course, a healthy society is indeed a rich society. I want to seek this opportunity to call our government in Africa to take another look into the financing of health sector.
We need to prioritize and come with homegrown-based solution to healthcare financing so that we can be able to move the economies of African countries and make the population to be healthy.
Investment mostly in teaching hospitals and specialized hospitals. But now it's time to look at the first level where most people come into contact with healthcare services, the primary care centers.
So this is an opportunity for us
to spread our tentacle and to move forward.
The public health professionals hope that if public health is improved financially, Africa's struggle to catching up with the developed nations will be reduced. An advocacy for all segments of society to join hands with the judiciary in protecting its independence and impartiality in the interest of justice is underway. The Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Soho, converses for this at a valedictory court session in honor of the immediate past Chief Judge of the court, late Justice Adamu Abdul Kafarati in Abuja. Olabode Arewa reports.
This is not a conventional court session, but a special valedictory sitting to honor someone who was recently the head of the Federal High Court in Nigeria, Justice Adamu Abdul Kafarati. The erudite judge, who died in February this year, retired from the service of the judiciary on 25th of July 2019 after working as a judge for 28 years and eventually became the head of the courts. The valedictory session provided opportunity for the Chief Judge, Justice John Soho, as well as his brother judges, to pay tributes to a man described as a trailblazer and reformer.
This could immensely help to minimize crises and controversies in the process of litigation over the election matters before this court.
The body of senior advocates of Nigeria also has fond memories of the impact that late jurist Abdul Kafarati made in modernizing judicial proceedings.
And had a reputation for patiently and quietly listening to all counsel, canvass arguments, and would never interject, nor interfere, nor bully counsel.
The late Justice Adamu Abdul Kafarati served in 7 judicial divisions of the courts. He was from Kwame Town in Gombe State. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
With the Yuletide drawing closer, it is another time of the year when individuals and corporate organizations give back to the society. This time around, K-Hair, a leading brand in hair manufacturing from Vietnam, in the spirit of the season, visited the Red Cross Motherless Babies Home in Onitsha, Anambra State, to show love to the children. Umo Basi Edet report.
For the children of the Red Cross Motherless Babies Home Onitsha, Christmas has started already. Foodstuffs, toiletries, and goodie bags worth thousands of naira are some of the things donated by Care Hair Vietnam to the orphanage. Manager of the company in Nigeria, Gideon Wadirinwa, says the gesture is in appreciation of the great patronage enjoyed, as 80% of their customers come from Nigeria.
Every year we'll be doing it because Vietnam see Nigeria as their second motherland. They love Nigerians a lot.
They deal on boys, waves, bone shreds, natural shreds, all kinds of colors.
Receiving the items, the matron of the Red Cross Motherless Babies Home Onitsha, Bridget Ajalu, expressed appreciation to Care Hair for the kind gesture and called on other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the act.
A thing of emulation. Somebody that is not a Nigerian to come to Nigeria to help the less privileged.
I just want to appreciate them and thank them for all the good deeds that they have brought forward. May God continue and bless them.
Care Hair is the top 1 biggest hair factory in Vietnam and supplies hair extensions with great quantities to various countries, including Nigeria. Both manufacturers and suppliers, Care Hair boasts of high quality and cheapest hair in the hair markets. In Onitsha, Umar Basidate, NTA News.
All right, let's head to Kaduna as we join Amina to pick up from there.
The Judicial Commission of Inquiry set up by the Kaduna State Government to investigate complaints of alleged police brutality and human rights violation has submitted its report recommending prosecution of anyone found wanting, including erring police officers. The Commission also recommends immediate payment of compensation to victims. Haruna Mohammed has more.
The Justice David Uyom Commission of Inquiry, inaugurated in October last year, received a total of 64 petitions, out of which 6 were struck out on application of petitioners, while 13 by the panel due to lack of diligent prosecution. Justice David says after evaluating the evidences, the Commission came up with its reports.
Payment of compensation in respect of 23 petitions in the total of 274,600,000 for deaths, injury, permanent incapacitation, etc.
The crisis of policing remains a national emergency. It is in the interest of everyone that our country builds an efficient police force, properly trained, equipped, and resourced for the job, and operating with the highest regard for the law and rights and dignity of citizens.
As the families of the victims await a white paper from the government on the report, the Commission pleads with the authorities to direct the police to release bodies of the persons they allegedly deposited in the mortuary to relatives and petitioners for burial. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Federal government's goal of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years is receiving the buy-in of some entrepreneurs in Kano who work hard to create more jobs for youths and women through value addition within the agri-value chain. Aminu Umar has more on innovations introduced to improve the productivity of gurasa bakers.
Kano people are known for their dexterity in business and so also in agricultural production. However, it is not enough to achieve full economic gain, especially in agriculture. Production was considered low because of limited skills in processing, storage, and value addition. With tripartite efforts of federal, state, and donor agencies, now more than 500 women, in addition to youth, are engaged in cluster production and processing of tomato, wheat, and rice. Like this innovation of grasa making that can produce 50 pieces in less than 10 minutes, as opposed to earlier practice where less than 20 pieces are produced in 30 minutes.
This is manageable for now, and not only me, it has created employment for others too.
This development brings along a good story for the state and the nation.
We are making some good progress in terms of the value addition, in terms of improved productivity, in terms of improving livelihood of the people we are presently serving. Then I'm very sure there will be next level of engagement.
Kano has been able to showcase, to tell the whole world that they've been able to improve the processing of gurasa, which is widely consumed in Kano and the environs.
With the existing foreign market for Nigeria's produce, especially tomatoes, experts believe if farmers and exporters can pool resources together, the target can be attained. In Kano, Aminu Umar, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Amina. Let's go on another break. We're back shortly.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day.
NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Femi Martins, just look at this. Remember the name.
The African Cup of Nations starts on the 9th of January 2022 on NTA, powered by AfroSports. For sponsorship and advertisements, contact us on 090-9890-6913 or 090-3513-2838.
Welcome back. After several years of diplomatic engagements that led to the return of looted artifacts to Nigeria by the German government, the Benin Kingdom has officially received the artifacts. Oba of Benin, Ewari II, acknowledged the receipt of the bronzes at a function to mark his 5th coronation anniversary in Benin, Edo State. Now, the royal father also commended the governments of Nigeria and Germany for putting in efforts to ensure that the actualization of the return of the artifacts. We're joining our correspondent live now from Benin, Obehi. She's going to tell us what the mood is right now. Obehi, I'm sure you can hear me loud and clear. What's the mood at the moment in Benin? Okay, so we seem to be having challenge there. I'm sure Obe can't hear me well, but if she could, the next time we'll join her. We'll definitely rejoin her. Okay, I'm told she could hear. Okay, let's...
Which is filled to capacity. The hall here is filled to capacity with representatives from various communities, traditional rulers, religious rulers, and they are all jubilant. They are happy, very, very grateful to the the fight, the cause, to see that these artifacts are returned to their original abode. I've spoken to many of them, and they are also very, very grateful to President Muhammad Buhari for playing a key role to see that history is made here today. The Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom is one of those who have signed the deed of transfer. The Oba of Benin has also signed, other key players have signed, and the deed of transfer has been handed over to the Oba of Benin. Now, this is an assurance to the people that indeed these artifacts are going to find their place back here at the palace of the Oba of Benin. And also, this event is also an opportunity to showcase the culture, the rich culture of Edo people. And so everybody is happy, they are thankful, they are grateful that they are alive to witness this day.
All right, Obehi there giving us update on what is happening at the moment. And actually, the event is actually happening at the moment there in Benin. And that's a very big milestone being recorded for not only Benin Kingdom, but also Nigeria as a whole. Let's move on. Thank you, Obehi. The Nigerian Army Resource Center is engaging non-state actors to fight criminals terrorizing different parts of the country. The course, tagged Leadership in National Security Course 4, it's part of the center's determination to leverage on cooperation of civil community to tackle insecurity.
and the events in the Northeast is instructive. We keep on using a kinetic approach to whatever we're doing. You keep 100, Boko Haram is able to recruit 200 to replace the 100 you've killed, because you have not been able to establish that nexus between governance or the government and those who have been governed.
This course is also aimed at actually grooming you as leaders to take the responsibility of galvanizing your agencies to play the roles that is required of you. The state we have gotten to now is no longer an issue of one agency conducting all aspects of security.
Expected to drive the new strategy with requisite knowledge that will enhance security network and subdue the pressure on troops in the front line. The Inspector General of Police Monitoring Unit, X-Squad, and the Force Provost Marshal have been directed to monitor the conduct of police personnel across the country and enforce professionalism during and after the Yuletide. This order was handed down by the Inspector General of Police to Assistant Inspectors General and Commissioners of Police at the IGP's end-of-the-year conference in Abuja. Francis Pham reports.
A gathering of top ranks of the police force, reason not far-fetched, post-mortem of some sort for the year 2021, areas of success and aspects not too impressive reviewed, and the IGP sets targets for his men for the year 2022.
Be prepared to strengthen your leadership capacity in dealing with crimes customarily associated with the end of the year. You should brace up to the anticipated internal security challenges that the year 2022 will undoubtedly present to you.
2021 was quite challenging, but your resilience and high level of courage and sound operational capacity and loyalty to the nation in the line of duty motivates me, and I'm proud of you, the police chief told his men.
This is the secret that we set out to advance in the policing agenda, which I laid out following my assumption of duty as Inspector General of Police, and I am delighted that you have keyed into this new policing vision.
Commendations over. Time to address the issue of persistent professional misconduct by some personnel, especially during festive periods.
Any personnel caught involving himself or herself in any unethical act will be firmly dealt with.
With that note of warning, the IGP assured Nigerians of greater safety for the year 2022 and for the Christians, rancor-free celebrations. Francis from NTA News.
There is need to review insurance coverage in the building industry to cover the loss in the chain of hands that put up structures in Nigeria. Now, this, some professionals in the industry say, will not only support the loss, but also deter unprofessional practices. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
Nigeria began to record a major building collapse from the early 70s, with a collapsed building in Mokola, Ibadan standing out. Since then, trillions of naira worth of property and lives were lost to building and other structural collapse in different parts of the country. These attracted suggestions from an array of professionals on putting a stop to the menace, with estate surveyors and valuers adding their voice.
There should be indemnity insurance. If peradventure anything happens, the insurance company should be able to indemnify those that are affected. And in that case, nobody will want to get his practice online. Nobody will want to allow his money to be used in that kind of situation.
There is also the need to lay emphasis on local content in the build industry, according to the surveyors. This, they say, owed to the level of advancement of indigenous professionals in knowledge and ethics. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
The federal government, through the National Agricultural Development Land Authority, is taking steps to revamp unused plots of land for agricultural purposes to flag off the gesture in Oruk Anam local government area of Akwa Ibom State, which is the first in the South-South. The Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of NALDA says the land integration project is another plan by the federal government to further boost its food safety and sufficiency policy. Utube Achibong reports.
Before now, lack of resources including manpower, farming equipment, access roads, among others, were major hindrances to rural dwellers going into full-scale commercial agriculture. But with recent moves by the federal government to upscale agricultural activities in the country, farmers and landowners in different communities have keyed into the robust national agricultural policy. The land integration project under the auspices of the National Agricultural Land Development Authority (NALDA) is getting communities to provide lands, while the federal government will ensure the full implementation of the policy with needed incentives. The proceeds from the venture are expected to be shared equally between the benefiting community and NALDA.
So as soon as pen is put on paper, the next thing we do is to roll in our equipment and then begin to prepare the land, hopefully for the next planting season. But the construction of the infrastructure can start immediately this dry season. Those infrastructure will include what we call NALDA farm roads.
Some members of the benefiting community express delight, indicating willingness to partner NALDA, but however appeal for the inclusion of the community youths in the project.
This thing is something that will bring prosperity to my people. Our fathers, when we give this land to project, it will benefit us.
Ikotekpuk is a community in Oruganam local government area, Akwa Ibom State, and it is the first in the South-South region to benefit from the land integration project by the federal government. From Oruganam local government area, Akwa Ibom State, Utube Achibong, NTA News.
In line with efforts by the federal government to scale up the export potential of the non-oil sector, experts advocating best global practice for post-harvest handling of yam to meet international market standards. The advocacy is coming at a one-day capacity building for farmers in Lafia to address challenges of storage, processing and marketing. Achigili Magaji reports.
According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, with the 40.017 million metric tons of yam produced in Nigeria annually, the country accounts for between 70 and 76% of global output, with market value of $5.656 billion. However, with this huge potential, Nigeria's yam farmers are yet to benefit at the global market because of poor agronomic practices, low standard storage and processing capacity. The capacity building is to address this drawback.
Our target is 2023. We start exporting them to UK.
If Nigeria must take its position, we will be getting at least $70 billion annually from yam.
We are going to see how the farmers will be trained on how to improve their productivity and how Yam Center will improve in the storage of yam.
In appraising the refresher program, participants express excitement that it will improve their fortunes.
Going to take this information, the knowledge, to the grassroots.
I got a lot of experience in this workshop. So I will go to various local government, I will call the chairman and enlighten them more about what we get.
The theme for the program is effective post-harvest handling of yam for wealth creation. In Lafia, Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
The proposed launch of digital switch over from analog to digital broadcasting in Rivers State has received positive response from stakeholders who are eager to key into the project. In view of this, the National Broadcasting Commission organized a one-day sensitization workshop for broadcasters and information officers in Rivers State ahead of the launch. Let's hear from Robinson Derataide.
The process for the digital switch over from analog to digital broadcasting has commenced in River State, with stakeholders expressing optimism on the enormous benefit that come with the project in terms of job creation, clearer pictures and quality programming. With no monthly subscription, but a yearly subscription of 1,500 naira, the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) urged residents to get the decoder, known as set-top boxes, to avoid blank TV when the switch over is launched.
With a pre-TV set-top box, the ordinary man can use his old analog television, that is the old analog television set, to enjoy plurality of channels and enjoy quality television signal. This is in addition to the economic advantages of DSO in creating direct and indirect jobs in the creativity industry.
I assure you that all our platforms will be accessible to you as usual.
We need to educate every household in your community to ensure that they understand what this DSO is all about and what they have to do to actually continue to watch quality television.
For industry players, the DSO is a springboard to reposition the broadcast industry for revenue drive.
I think the best thing for us to do now is for the viewers to begin to appreciate DSO that has come our way, and for them to purchase the set-top boxes. They're quite cheap.
Earlier, NBC had carried out inspection of the digital equipment and the set-top boxes, hoping to cover up to 80% of River State population in the new regime of television service. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
The disappearance of Nigerian public universities on the top 490 in the world's radar map has remained a source of concern to the authorities. Consequently, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund has summoned its beneficiaries for a workshop to stimulate knowledge and meet minds with a view to reversing the trend and reposition them to compete favorably globally. The workshop is part of a series of programs that the fund has consciously identified for public tertiary institutions in the country to equip universities as catalysts for national rebirth and development.
We at Tier Fund have also done a lot, specifically to enhance the rankings of our universities. We have invested in infrastructure, critical infrastructure.
It is only by so doing that the nation can transit and be part of the knowledge economy. To be competitive, Nigerian universities must be, as a matter of agency, put strong measures in place.
We believe without TED Fund's intervention, especially in the last 5 years, it wouldn't be possible for these universities to be where they are.
These are mandated to carefully carry out such improvement with professionalism in the interest of the nation. Parents must always strive to know the activities of their children and direct them where necessary so that teachers in the school can find it easy to complement in shaping their behavior. This was at the closing ceremony of a Qur'anic recitations competition organized by International Center of Islamic Culture and Education and expatriate teachers from Al-Azhar Sharif, Cairo, in conjunction with the Embassy of the Arab Republic of Egypt. The organizers believe that when parents fail to lay solid foundation at home, it will be a Herculean task for schools to successfully impact knowledge and instill discipline and moral values on the children.
This is a day of celebration of success for our young children that made so much sacrifice. You know, in this realm of internet, in this digital world, where everybody is busy and where everybody is spending more time looking at any other social media and the rest of it. But still, we are focusing, you see, on learning the Quran. I would want to thank, all the teachers that have been contributing to the success, you see, of actually the learning that has been impacted on our children.
The Al-Azhar Sharif mission said part of their goals in Nigeria and the world at large is to spread the true teachings of Islam free from misleading ideologies and extremism. Let's take sports update.